Hey guys, it's Chris. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to install a full Yoshimura pipe on this Rally 300. I'll walk you through that process, and then at the end of the video, I'll do a quick compare with a Yosh pipe that I bought from overseas. A lot of you have been asking, are they knockoffs? Are they the same thing? I'll take a look at it. We'll compare it out. You judge for yourself. I would always encourage you to buy the real thing from the manufacturer or their dealer network, but hey, a lot of you had the question, so I figured why not? Let's ship one in and let's compare it and let you know what that looks like. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna get to taking off the bits and pieces. I've got a luggage I'm gonna need to remove. I'm gonna try and do it without taking the rack off, but that remains to be seen. I'll definitely need to take off the front guard. All of the bodywork on this side is gonna need to come off in order to get that full system out of there, including the front piece of bodywork that covers the front of the exhaust. Obviously, if your bike's not modified yet, you're gonna have a little quicker job of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking pieces off until I can get full access to the pipe. There's the bodywork, and this is the rad guard. So you just need to remove that rad guard from these little holes, and then it comes loose. One screw here, two posts there. You slide it in and then you fasten it here. So to take it off, obviously, slide it forward and it comes right off. All right, so now we can see the exhaust pipe is holding on one bolt here, one there, and then two should be up front on the motor. And those are 12mm bolts. It clamps all the way loose, so now I should be able to wiggle it out. And as always, there's a catch. There's not enough room for the clamp to come through here, so I need to get that bolt out of the clamp. Now we should be good. And that's a really heavy pipe. I'm sure once I get this on the scale, I'll be saving quite a bit of weight by going to the aftermarket exhaust pipe. All right, and the two bolts holding it up front are also 12mm. And the last piece is to take the CO2 sensor off. $17. So that's it, and that's pretty heavy too. All right, so included in the kit with the Yosh pipe is a QR code with a link to instructions on how to install it. There's a heat shield that you have to add to the exhaust pipe, spring puller, a couple of springs, and a couple of fasteners to get the heat shield on. So as you can see, there's a copper washer, which is your exhaust port gasket. In order to ensure that the exhaust seals properly at the head, it's wise to replace that gasket if the bike has had some time on it. This bike's fairly new, around 1,000 miles, so everything looks good. That gasket looks like it's in great shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and reuse that and not dig that out. And so each section of the pipe is gonna be connected with the springs that they've included in the kit. The short spring goes at the back, the long spring goes in the section at the front. Just bear that in mind at two different distances. I'm sure it's gonna be obvious once we get done. And I'm gonna install the pipe before putting the heat shield on, just so I don't scratch the heat shield. All right, guys, let's just have you take a look. So because the O2 sensor is going to need to spin and spin in order to get snugged into the pipe, I'm going to want to disconnect it from up here. So that's the wire that I'm talking about. There's the connection right in behind. You'll see there's two little red spots, one on each side, but right back at the back of it, this little middle piece is flexible and you could squeeze it. And with that removed, I can fasten the end of the pipe and then reconnect it. And then it won't be all twisted when I'm done. And because I'm putting the CO2 sensor on the pipe here, I may not be able to feed it through the back. I might have to take that head pipe off. Doesn't want to go in that way. All right, so you have to pull the clutch and get the little clutch arm out of the way. So you want to disconnect your CO2 sensor, fasten it to the pipe first. You want to do the midsection of the pipe first, hook that all up, and then put your CO2 wire back up where it was, and then we'll do the head pipe and the slip-on exhaust piece last. So I'm gonna kind of just loosely put my bolt in here. So there's a little wire guide there, and a wire guide up here. Let me bring it back around and snap it on. All right, so long spring in the front, short spring at the back. All right, it's coming together. And then the small spring. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is add the heat shield. And I just put a little bit of Loctite on those. All right, so the last piece is to get everything back together on the bodywork. And perhaps my least favorite thing is locating these screws on the bodywork because it's so flexible. All right, guys, so that's the install is complete. The last thing to do is I'm going to show you a couple of little comparisons. I'm also going to weigh the current system, the OEM system, compared to the Yoshimura pipe, as well as the eBay pipe that I got. So I'll show you the weights of those. I'll also give you kind of some close-ups of the details in terms of quality, and you can judge for yourself which way you'd like to go. I certainly, as I said at the start of the video, believe in our manufacturers and all the R&D they do, and I think they stand behind their products. We want to support them. So having said that, I'm all set to give this a test ride. I'll give you some stats on the screen. I'll tell you how many dB this is. Just a footnote, if you want to grab a t-shirt or support the channel in any way, head over to my website and or my Etsy channel. All of it's under Dual Sport Garage. All right, I think we're ready to weigh the stock exhaust. So I've got the stock exhaust pipe. So that's 12 pounds on the stock header and exhaust. All right, next up, I'm weighing the pipe that I picked up on eBay. So the eBay pipe comes in at 7 pounds, 6.3 ounces. Last up, get the real Yosh pipe on the scale. See what we're looking at. All right, the authentic Yosh pipe comes in at 9.4 pounds. And now just opening the Yosh pipe, you can see it's packaged beautifully. Some packing over top. Each piece is in heavy plastic, individually QC'd. Quite different than the packaging that accompanied the pipe that I got off of eBay. Made just absolutely hermetically sealed with cardboard everywhere. The eBay pipe, I'll share a couple images with you, came wrapped in newspaper. Okay guys, as you can see, the one that I ordered through eBay that came in from Philippines or Thailand or something like that, claimed to be a Yosh pipe, claims to be made in the USA, but you can see what a dramatic difference in terms of the finish, the quality, the thickness of the metal is different. The finishes, the fasteners, it's just a whole nother level of quality with the product that came from Yoshimura USA. I'll leave a link to both, but there's a dramatic difference. A lot of folks talk about whether it's gray market or the real thing. Sometimes with, for example, electronics and so forth, if you buy it from another country, the idea is it's just not warranted in your home country, and that's called gray marketed. And sometimes it's worth the price difference because you're not really worried about warranty. But in this case, that's not at all what you're getting. You're definitely getting a knockoff from the eBay product as compared to the real thing. And so obviously I'll be installing the real thing. We'll want to go with something that's a quality item. But hopefully this is instructive for you, because there's a lot of information floating around, and of course logos look all good and it's really hard to tell what you're getting when you shop online. If this stuff is helpful for you, smash the like, subscribe so that other people just like you will see these videos. Appreciate your support. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.